Good morning. When people hear the word bipolar disorder, they often think in extremes, extreme highs or extreme lows, extreme behavior. What we discuss far less often is the human reality that exists between those extremes. The person living with the illness, the family surrounding them, and long-term effects of misunderstanding and stigma. Today, I want to present you with this. Bipolar disorder is not simply a medical diagnosis. It is a serious lifelong condition whose effects extend beyond the individual, and our response must be rooted in understanding rather than judgment. Bipolar disorder is recognized by the World Health Organization as a chronic mental health condition characterized by recurring manic and depressive episodes that significantly disrupt mood, energy, thinking, and daily functioning. Because of its early onset and recurring nature, bipolar disorder is considered one of the leading causes of disability worldwide, affecting not only those diagnosed, but also their relationships, careers, and families. In the United States, nearly 3% of adults experience bipolar disorder in any given year, and more than 80% experience serious impairment during episodes, according to the National Institute of Mental Health 2026. Those numbers remind us that bipolar disorder is neither rare nor mild. It is a condition that profoundly shapes lives. Yet, despite how common and severe bipolar disorder is, public understanding remains clouded by fear and misinformation. One of the most influential voices challenging this misunderstanding is Kay Redfield Jamison, a leading researcher in bipolar disorder who also lives with the illness herself. In her memoir, An Unquiet Mind, Jamison describes bipolar disorder as something that, quote, carves its own reality, unquote. By this, she means that the illness does not merely affect mood, it alters perception, identity, and relationships. I just feel terrible that having to turn to this kind of cheat sheets that I'm like just reading them, and I feel bad about it, but I have no choice. So please excuse me. Jamison's perspective is especially powerful because it bridges science and lived experience. She makes it clear that bipolar disorder is not a moral failing or a lack of self-control. It is a medical illness that requires treatment, understanding, and compassion. One of Jamison's most widely cited insights speaks directly to treatment. Quote, lithium moderates the illness, but therapy teaches you how to live with it, unquote. Lithium has long been considered the gold standard mood stabilizer for bipolar disorder. However, lithium is not a cure. It does not erase the illness, nor does it eliminate the need for psychological support, therapy, and stable relationships. This is why Jamison's insight matters. Medication may stabilize symptoms, but living well with the bipolar disorder requires ongoing understanding and support. This brings us to an essential point. Bipolar disorder is not an individual condition alone, it is a family condition as well. The World Health Organization emphasizes that bipolar disorder places long-term emotional strain on families and caregivers, particularly because episodes recur unpredictably over time. Loved ones often become emotionally vigilant, learning to recognize mood changes, manages crisis, and maintain stability during periods of illness. Yet families are rarely included in their broader conversation. Instead, stigma fills the gap. A comprehensive systematic review by Latifian and colleagues 2023 found that stigma affects not only people living with bipolar disorder, but also their families. Families often experience shame, social withdrawal, and hesitation to seek help, not because support is unnecessary, but because judgment is expected. Stigma thrives when bipolar disorder is reduced to labels like unstable or dangerous, ignoring the reality that both mania and depression involve real suffering. Mania may appear energetic, but it can involve irritability, impulsivity, and loss of control. Depression may appear quiet, but it often brings profound hopelessness and pain. Neither is easier to experience or to witness. This is how we respond matters. This is why how we respond matters. According to the National Institute of Mental Health, bipolar disorder is highly treatable when individuals receive consistent medical care, often including medications like lithium combined with psychotherapy and ongoing support. The real barrier is not lack of effective treatment, but delays caused by stigma, misunderstanding, and fear of disclosure. When people fear judgment, they delay help. When families feel blamed, they suffer in silence. And when society treats bipolar disorder as a personality flaw instead of medical condition, outcomes worsen for everyone. But education changes this. Empathy looks like recognizing that progress is not linear. It looks like supporting treatment without demanding perfection. It looks like understanding that medications like lithium help stabilize the illness, but compassion helps sustain the person. K. Redfield Jamison's life and work remind us that people with bipolar disorder are more than their symptoms. With treatment, support, and understanding, many lead meaningful and productive lives. The challenge is not the existence of bipolar disorder itself. It is how society chooses to respond to it. If we want healthier communities, then we must replace fear with knowledge. If we want stronger families, we must replace silence with understanding. And if you want meaningful progress, we must see the person, not just the diagnosis. Thank you for listening, and my name is Heiwa Suzuki, and I'm a student at the University of Maryland Global Campus. Thank you.